Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As always, this is Fred Achando. You all know that this is the year 2022. And what does it mean? That we are in a political season. Politicians are running in all the corners of this world. The MCA, Member of Parliament, Senate, Women Rep, all the way to the presidency. They want you to vote them in. They want you to allow them to represent you into the political offices. Today, I am in Embakasi West constituency. To be specific, I am in Umoja East Ward. I understand that Umoja, like many other wards, Umoja has attracted over 10 candidates, those who want to try and persuade you to allow them to go and represent you in the coveted county assembly. Today, we host one of the aspirants, and he will be telling us why he thinks that he's fit to be in that office. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I will allow him to introduce himself. Once again, welcome, and please introduce yourself to the members, your members who are listening, the residents of Umoja East Ward. Introduce yourself. For those who do not know you, who are you?
Thank you, Mr. Fred. And thank you, everyone. Good evening. This Friday, my name is Calvince. My name is the aspirant of Umoja 2 Ward, just as we say, Umoja East Ward, within Embakasi West constituency. That's what I am. Thank you.
Thank you. So you say you are Kasera. We call you Kasera. Which one would you want us to call you? Are you Kasera? Did you say Dennis or Kasera?
I said I'm Kasera Calvince.
Calvince.
I go by the name Calvo. Hiyo ni jina ya mtaa.
So I'll call you Calvo. So anyway, Calvo.
Thank you.
I would want to start by asking you what inspires you to contest for the member of county assembly seat in Umoja 2. Please tell us what has motivated you so that they can listen to you. They are all listening.
Thank you. I am a politician by nature. I come from a political background, a political family. And before that, I had a lot of interest in changing people's lives in our ward. And I realized that there are so many things that I cannot do unless I'm in the power to actually do this. To be precise, I know and I've been a voter of Umoja 2 for a very long time. And things have never been the same. Things have been the same quite for a very long time. And that's why I decided at least let us make a change so that we do something differently. We have voted people in and out in different fields. We have voted youths, we have voted the old, we have voted those who have money, those who don't have money. But I feel we have not voted the people who have the best idea. Now I am rich of idea, and that's why I got inspired to actually go for Umoja 2.
Fair enough. How long have you been in Umoja? I'm asking this because I've got this feeling that for you to properly represent the residents of Umoja 2, you must be part and parcel of them. For you to capture their predicaments and what they are going through. How long have you been in Umoja, and how many election years have found you in Umoja?
Thank you. I've been in Umoja for quite enough time to actually understand the problem that Umoja 2 people are facing. And I've been a voter for, this is going to be the fourth time I'm going to vote. So which means I've been in Umoja for more than 20 years.
This is your fourth?
This is going to be my fourth voting election. I started voting in 2007. So I believe that I am a member who also understands the problem that I myself undergo because I also live in the same Umoja. So I believe I'm a member who understands his environment and who understands his area.
Okay, I want us to go direct to what I may call the pillars of your ideas or your policies. Because you've mentioned that you've been here for a length of time that allows you to speak on behalf of the residents if they give you that chance.
Thank you.
briefly, but in a way that will make even those who have never heard about you to really understand what you stand for, your policies.
Thank you.
Would you give them the pillars? Are they 4? Are they 10? Just try to maybe categorize them and explain briefly, touching on what you really feel ails the residents of Umoja.
Thank you. When I may start, I have one biggest problem that I have currently, which faces me even when I wake up from my house, is what we call the roads, the bypass roads that should be, the inroads that are within our ward, the drainage system that has really affected us. It actually very traumatizing when kids go to school and they're stepping on water, water is splashed everywhere, sewages burst everywhere, drainages are not properly maintained. The system of the drainages sometimes actually, the running sewage sometimes mixed with the water, and it had happened even in China. It is all outside there. So let me say the roads, water, security. We have had so many people actually saying there is a lot of insecurity in Umoja. It has increased for the last 5 years, though there was a time that it decreased, and now it has really decreased. So there is a lot of insecurity. And lastly, empowerment of women and youth, because I've realized that in Umoja, this is where we have the highest number of single mothers who live here with us, and they need to be actually properly taken care of. But they can only be done that when you understand them, you live with them, and you know them. That is what can happen.
Fair enough. I really want us to go deeper into this, because I've interacted with very many aspirants. And when you ask them, why do you want us to vote you in, they will tell you water, sewage, roads. And almost every aspirant, and I know you interact with them, almost all of them will tell you water and roads. So I want us to go deep, and maybe you will explain to us, when you mention water, what is wrong with our water? And if there is a problem with the water system or the shortage of water mixing with the sewage that you mentioned, you will tell us what you think is the main cause of our problem, and then how you want to remedy, to bring a remedy to it. And I'm saying this because when people are listening to you, they will tell you that every other election year, our aspirants come here and they promise us water, roads, and all that. So I just want to pick on perhaps 4. Water. We'll talk about drainage, and drainage of course goes with sewage. And then we'll talk of roads and empowerment. Only those 4. And I would really request you to look at the camera and speak to your people.
Yes.
That let's begin with water. You've mentioned water. So what about water? What is the problem with water? Are you talking of shortage, or it is too much that you want the Nairobi water to reduce the way it flows into our taps?
Thank you, Mr. Fred.
Yes.
I am happy that you are also one of us that live with us in Umoja, and I can tell you, that is why I began by saying, I want things to be done differently. The fact that these things, many politicians talk about them and nothing happens, that's now what inspired me. So that this time round, we say we are doing things differently. That's why I say, it is a song that they have been singing, and I know they have been singing it. I've never voted, so it means I have been a voter. I understand exactly this is where the problem is. So when we are talking about these problems incurring for a very, very long time, the continuation can only be stopped by someone who wants to bring that different way. Now, when we go to water, and when I start by water, I can tell you, the problem we have with water, not that we have too much water, the water is overflowing. The problem we have is the insufficiency of water supply.
We have a shortage.
We have a shortage of water
taps.
in our taps.
Yeah.
I have been in my house and I've bought water for almost 3 months down the line. I buy one, they call that container of 20 liter at 20 shillings. And I can buy it down from the tap at 10 bob, which means I have to buy it, and then I climb it up to my house, or I use someone to transport it from the tapping point to my house.
So that means you incur another
So I incur
expense.
another expense. It affects me as one of the Umoja people. Someone who uses pay rents like I do, pay school fee, you pay water, and you find it's quite in so many different units in the houses of Umoja. Everyone complains about.
So what is the cause? If you may give us the cause, what do you think is the cause of water shortage in Umoja? The length of time you've been there.
I have said this, that I don't know why it's so different in Umoja Estate.
Do you have cartel? Just to be very direct. Because as a questioner, you may be going random. Do you think we have cartels in Umoja? You may want their votes. You know,
okay, fine. If there are cartels,
yes,
there are also voters.
Yes.
But what is the interest if I win with the cartels actually making life more difficult for the residents? I say this, let me pray, whether you're cartel or you're not cartel, and you know there is a problem of water, if there is a way you can help fix it out, as a person who lives in Umoja, we are going to fix it once and for all. I want to bring people on board. We see where the problem is. If it is about the cartels, that we can actually have a talk, let us have a talk as people of Umoja, as people of the human nature. Let us have a talk that this time round, what will emerge. The reason why I'm saying this is that there was a time I was called to some point, let me say some places, and the residents were asking me about water. And being that I'm an aspirant, I took.
They wanted to know what you want to do.
They wanted to know what I can do, how they can actually improve, how they can get more water into their houses. And I took initiative actually to get out, find out what we can do. I went to Nairobi, what is called City Council. By then there was no governor. We had our governor having problems, so there was no governor. But I had to see General Badi. I couldn't see him because of the appointment I didn't have. So I wrote an official, yes, I wrote an official letter to him telling him why I wanted to see him through my lawyer. And he told me because it was COVID, that was by the time the COVID was too much, and he told me that can I address my real issue, what I wanted to give him, what I wanted to tell him. And I told him, we don't have water in Umoja. That is what I wrote in my letter. It was a quite formal letter. When I come for the next interview, I will share it with you so that the people can see about it. Can go through it. I said we can have our water fixed through his power. I requested kindly, is there something that could be done? He said he was going to get back to me.
Let me ask you, Moshe.
Yes.
Apart from writing this letter to Mbadi,
yes,
there is a general feeling among the residents,
yes,
that we know the beast,
yes,
in the water system.
yes,
we have cartels,
yes,
even though we cannot mention them,
yes,
but we know cartels.
yes.
In the event that the people of Umoja to vote you in,
Yes.
can you face them head on? Because you may write letters, but you know what cartels are. A cartel is a cartel. There's no any other definition. But what they've been asking all along, do we have someone who can face them head on?
Yes.
Because if you look at the connections in Umoja,
Yes.
it looks like they are working together. They are in cahoot,
Yes.
and they are working together.
Yes. Yes.
And therefore, as a politician, as a leader, when you are voted in, do you have the capability? Because I interacted with people before we came for this interview,
Yes.
and there is this feeling that once a member of county assembly is voted in, he's either incapable,
Yes,
or he becomes part and parcel,
yes,
of the cartels.
Thank you.
Do you have the capability? Can you face them head on? Because people think that this is the only way.
Just like I said,
Yes.
I am looking for this seat to change life.
Okay.
Anything that is going to interfere with the people of Umoja too, anyone that is going to interfere with the life and the betterment of Umoja too, I am going to face them. I am ready to actually face everything that is going to interfere with the life and the livelihood of people of Umoja too. If the water is going to be insufficient, I have to make sure that there is sufficient supply of water in our houses. And if there is someone that is standing on it, we are going to face you. As Umoja too, and as a leader, I will take the lead.
We are waiting to see if God gives that opportunity.
Thank
but
you.
then let's go to, you mentioned the sewer system.
Yes.
What is wrong with our sewer system, and what do you think is the cause?
The sewer system will be having one problem. It is almost, because it is the same, water and sewer. I just said there is no proper way of maintaining our systems. There is no proper maintenance. We just need to upgrade them.
We've neglected
And we have neglected the sewer and actually the drainage system. But these are things that we can do. They are doable at a very good condition.
So let me ask you.
Yes.
Because I'll be calling the other aspirants, yes?
Yes.
And the reason why I'm really putting you to pressure to at least explain this,
Yes.
is because you will realize that all of them
Yes.
understand our problems.
Yes.
But the approach to
Yes.
solving them
Yes.
is what makes you or any other stands out.
Yes.
Many people agree that yes, number one,
Yes.
we have neglected
Yes.
the sewer system,
Yes.
and perhaps the connections, the tunnels and all.
Yes.
Now the question that everyone wants to hear,
Yes.
because all your competitors
Yes.
will be here,
Yes.
and they will be giving us an approach.
Yes.
It is the approach that I want to hear from you, and members
Yes.
want to hear. You mentioned that we have neglected. What is your approach? Dawa ni nini? Because mimi najua uko na wafuasi ambao labda pia Kiswahili ndio wanaelewa.
Yes.
So you can always mix.
Yes.
Dawa ni nini kwa hii mambo ya simu? What will you do different? Because we've had, you voted in 2007,
Yes.
2013,
Yes.
2017.
Yes.
When you voted, I believe that you interacted with the then aspirants and they
Yes.
promised the same thing.
Yes.
You are here promising.
Yes.
What is the approach?
Now, this is where we say we are going to do things differently. And the approach is just being a fearless leader. I can tell you, uniting people of Umoja too, as a whole, means a fearless leader. Someone who can approach things head on, face them with the with the reality, and then realize them together. In this way, we will help each other. Just the other day, I was called around SkyMart supermarket in Tena, that is Umoja. And the wamama that were actually selling fish the other side had water, sewage kind of bursting from the SkyMart. They felt it was the SkyMart people that were having their discharge on the other side. Now when I approached the management of the SkyMart, I realized that it was the problem from the main manhole. What I'm trying to say is that we can properly maintain the system of our sewer and drainage, and it is doable. The only thing is that the leaders neglected them because they don't actually want to do it, or they want to do it but they fear doing it. That's why I'm saying we have to be fearless, and on the first line, the person that must be fearless is your leader. That's why I chip in.
So you can give them your word that you're
I can give you my word that Umoja two people, this time if you choose Kasera Calvince, you are choosing a fearless person who fears and love God.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
You said that we are not properly maintaining our sewer system. But if you've been in Umoja, you realize that anytime we have a downpour, when there is rain, within 5 minutes, the roads are overflowing in water. Because this is not the sewage now,
Yes.
but the drainage.
Yes.
I know they are interconnected.
Yes.
When you look at the sewage, the sewer lines and
Yes.
the drainage,
Yes.
I'm asking this because one of your residents, or the residents in Umoja,
Yes.
was telling me that the other problem that we have is that when we want to maintain our roads, we don't do our
Drainage.
And he felt this is a request from him, and to all the aspirants, and I know they will be listening, that it is good that before you maintain roads, before you start maintaining or building these feeder roads, that you need to start with the drainage system. So perhaps this is not a question but an information from the members of the community that yes, apart from maintenance, let us be, or whoever will be there should know a proper way of maintaining the roads. So fair enough with the sewage, the sewer system, and the drainage. You talked about, was it youth and women empowerment?
Yes.
What about it?
Thank you. I have interacted with many youths and I've also interacted with our women from Umoja. Some are married, some are single, like I told you. The bigger number of women living in Umoja too are single moms, and they need special attention. A single mom is this person who has kids, has a house to pay, she has kids to pay school fee,
and has all the
and
burden.
has all the burden as a mother.
Okay.
I might treat her differently with just a mother who has a husband who might be actually having something. Because remember, this person is actually doing a double life. She is making sure that she steps in as a mother, and at the same time, she is the husband of the house.
What is the formula in doing this? Will you be giving them businesses, an opportunity? Let's try and understand the formula in
Yes.
achieving this.
Okay, I have actually had the opportunity to interact with the chamas za wanawake zetu, and I've told them quite time that these chamas you can turn them into welfares, where we can have kind of a circle running,
Properly registered.
and I've registered 2 of them, and we can have them as welfares. And once we have them as welfares, we will have a proper channel of actually making sure that everyone who is in that circle benefits. If I come into power, we can arrange with the government. We now know that we have our treasurer, we have our office, we have our ward. Now I have a business idea. She can go to that circle, she can go to that welfare, takes a loan and improve her life. That is another way we can actually change their lives. We can also say, for the youth, like I said, I've registered CBO groups. Some have, so many residents have called me and told me, you have changed the life of this boy.
Can you mention one? You said you registered many.
There is
groups.
one
Just mention
group CBO called Compton's Group, just next to Catholic. There is another one called Them Clean. I'm meeting them tomorrow. We are doing a landscaping beautification of the whole Catholic lot, that the houses that from around the 182 to around 300. We shall be doing cleaning there, Taweka flower and all that. These are groups that have registered.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
You have mentioned, remind me of the group that you mentioned.
There is one called Compton's. Compton's group.
This is a group that you help them register.
Register as a CBO groups.
As a CBO.
Yes.
Apart from just the assisting in the registration.
Yes.
Is it benefiting them now, and what is your input in it? Just mention, because we want to know. Many people just like talking about.
We are currently doing a poultry. We have more than seven hens. We have a nursery in Tunaweka Skuma. They have registered. They have almost 3 motorbikes they got from the government, because now it is a registered group. The young youths
Here in
Umoja. The youths who are there are no longer high, but they have something that they are doing. Even the residents have called me and they have actually thanked me for making their youths have something that they can do. Have changed their life in a small way, but it has turned to be something that is very good. That is what I could do as an aspirant.
Now, I know we could talk about very many of the policies and what we're going to do, but I want to go to this segment now about, politics is about assumption.
Yes.
And I know you interact with very many residents, and there are a lot of things that are being said about you. Number one, because we have to be speaking very openly about it.
Yes.
You're laughing. I don't know whether you can preempt what I'm about to ask, but I'll ask several of them. One,
yes.
Some months ago, the IEBC released what we could call preparation for the aspirants.
Yes.
And they mentioned some amount of, to the tune of some millions, I don't know, 15 or what, yes, that an MCH must have,
yes,
to be able to conduct a proper campaign.
Yes.
How well, let me just put it, how well are you prepared? Is your pocket ready?
Yes.
Because very many people say that Calvo now we don't think Hana Pesa.
Yes.
Now they are watching because you see very many people watch this channel.
Yes.
And there are people who do not know you.
Yes.
There are those who know you but feel that you don't have money.
Yes.
Clearly.
I have
enough money to campaign.
I have every qualification that a leader needs to have to be in leadership. I have every qualification that the IBC want for someone to vie for the MCA position in Kenya. And I have everything it takes to campaign and win. That is proper.
That is your answer.
Yes.
You are not really mentioning how well you are prepared,
yes,
in terms of your finances.
Yes.
But I will still insist.
Yes.
When you say you've got everything,
yes,
everything includes the funds that a leader needs at the MCA level.
Yes.
You are ready for it.
I have every finance preparation,
okay,
that someone who vies for an MCA should have,
okay,
to be in the MCA's position. Okay. I'm economically prepared. I'm
so you're giving this assurance to
I'm giving assurance to my supporters
that you're well prepared financially.
Cool down. Everything is in control.
Okay.
I came here knowing exactly what is needed. In fact, I'm overqualified for everything that is needed here. So we have the advantage.
You're saying that you're overqualified. In fact, your pockets are flowing with money. If I had, but it takes me to the second question on this.
Yes.
Many people say that the assumption that you don't have money.
Yes.
There have been lots and lots of allegations.
Yes.
At first, that I heard that you are a project.
Yes.
And they said that you're working for someone behind the scenes.
Yes.
Are you a project?
I'm not. In fact, I'm happy people can talk about me. That
you are happy that people are calling you a project?
I'm happy that people talk about me because I have done. I told you this. I was the earliest candidate.
You started early?
Yes. I was the earliest candidate in this exercise we are doing today. I started campaigning in 2018. I campaigned in 2019. Chini ya Maji campaigned in 2020. Campaigned in 2020. I was making people to be aware about who I am.
So you started this sabotage. When an MCA was working, you started this sabotage.
And the funny part is that I've never interfered with an MCA. I've never taken him to court. I've never talked bad about him because I know I'm going to be the next, and I would still wish him that he can help me grow in this Umoja too.
That thought, because we are coming for the second part of this interview.
Thank you.
And you are going to tell us whether whatever you're saying is true. Our machine is giving us a bit of a headache here.
Yes.
But we are working on it. Yes. We're coming for the second